So what I want to share with you today is a common mistake that new entrepreneurs make. And it's ironic because oftentimes when individuals in particular join our business model, they're trying to escape from being in sales. And they turn around and actually make that mistake right out the gate. They become salespersons or they become quote unquote salesy. And so I want to kind of resolve some of the mindset and some of the pitfalls associated with this, and why individuals should really take a different tact altogether, right? Especially for those individuals right now who are having difficulty trying to figure out, how do I take my product, how do I take my service to the marketplace, right? And one of the first things that I oftentimes end up encountering when I'm dealing with a new entrepreneur is this conniption they're having, right, about what to say and what language to use and what diction to employ and what's my elevator pitch, and what verbiage do I need to find in order to get someone when I first meet them in the first 2 to 3 minutes or the first 2-3 hours I engage someone to buy my product or service. And what I'd encourage individuals to consider is that part of the problem is that mindset, right? If you are, especially when you're first starting out, your objective and goal is not to go out, quote unquote, and make sales, right? If you have a viable product or service, let me share this with you right now. With the proper approach, your product or service will sell itself. What I encourage individuals to do is to go out with the attitude, or start your day with the attitude that you're going to make a new friend, right? Go out, whether it be in a public place, over the phone, networking event, coffee shop, grocery store, whatever the case may be, and don't have the mindset of I need to approach someone to talk to them about acquiring my product or service today. Rather, approach individuals and chat with individuals with the mindset of I'm here to make a new friend. I'm here to make an acquaintance. The objective, or the bag, so to speak, is to put yourself in a situation where as many people as possible know and understand what it is that you do. That's the real objective and goal. It's to introduce yourself and to introduce your service and a product in a way where people aren't feeling some kind of way and running from the hills when they see you coming, or within the first 2-3 minutes of you opening your mouth today. That's really the objective. And I want to start there, right? Because so often, if I'm hearing an individual talk about, I'm looking for the correct sales pitch, and that's why I don't go out and share information about my business, it tells me right then and there, the mindset is wrong, right? So if you're going out simply to make a new friend, you're gonna have casual conversation. I'm here at a coffee shop today. Literally a couple hours ago, while I was minding my own business, making phone calls, another business owner who was sitting 2 feet away from me, we were both ear hustling. I knew he was a business owner, he knew I was a business owner. I looked at him, I said, hi, hello. He decided to walk over to me, and we had a casual conversation. I asked him what brought him into the coffee shop today. He told me, what he do for a living. He owns a couple of collision shops here in the area, or a couple of brake shops, that is. I said, great, fantastic. How long have you been in business? He told me he'd been in business for about 20 some odd years. Spent some time out on the West Coast, and now he's back here in Detroit. I asked him why. He gave me his reason why. He was here to spend some time with his family, help take care of his parents, and kind of reboot, reestablish himself, right? Just casual conversation. At no point in time did I attempt to share with him a product or a service that I was selling. I was making a friend, right? Turning a cold, quote unquote, prospect into a warm friend, or at least someone that at the end of the day, I feel like if I followed up with them, he'd be inclined to give me an audience with him because he has a good, warm, fuzzy feeling about me, right? And that conversation lasted all of 2-3 minutes. It wasn't very time consuming. It was just kind of back and forth. What brings him here? Why did he relocate from the West Coast here to Detroit? Why are you here? What's your business? I asked him, what's your goal? What are you trying to do? He said, I'm trying to scale. I'm trying to grow my businesses. I want to go from 2 locations to 3, 4. Okay, great. What's the challenge? He said, well, I need assistance with marketing. He started asking me questions about IT. I'm just nodding my head, taking notes. I asked him, did you need capital to grow your business? He says, no, there's plenty of capital, which it is right now in Detroit Metro. There's plenty of capital being thrown around right now. That's a talk for another time. And guess what? After I asked those questions of him, after I had a simple question, a Q&A with him, right? I wasn't interrogating him, but just asking the questions I needed to ask to develop rapport. You know what question he posed to me, right? And the question he asked me was, what do you do for a living? Now, of course, inside my mind, I'm thinking, so glad you asked, right? And once again, I didn't throw up on him about what it is I do. I didn't give him some long dissertation. I just said, look, I help business owners grow from a team of me to a team of we. He kind of nodded his head. So yeah, we provide them with the technical expertise, we provide them with the know-how to basically be able to onboard, put systems, tools, and resources in place to help them out with their HR, their legal, their IT and marketing. Been doing it for approximately 40 plus years. Love to share some information with you about it. He says, tell me more. Now look, I could have at that point, I feel like he probably would have stood there for 30 minutes while I laid out everything to him in terms of our base services and gave him a really good overview. I chose not to. Once again, my goal was not to be the salesperson. My goal also was to avoid giving the person enough information to say no, but not enough information and information not being delivered in such a way where he could really make an educated yes. We're in a coffee shop, I'm surrounded by a bunch of people, there's noise, there's distractions, the whole 9 yards, right? If I'm gonna give this gentleman a presentation, if I'm really gonna go in terms of what I do for a living, I wanted to be in a more controlled environment. I want to be in an environment where he'd even be more comfortable hearing it. So I said, look, this is what I'll do. I forward some information to your attention, you can take a look at it. I wrote the site down on my business card. I said, take a look at this information, let's follow up. I had his business card already, he volunteered it. See how that happens? Right, when you're not salesy, when you're not running up on people trying to sell them stuff, people want to be in contact with you. They want to befriend you, right? If they feel like you have a helpful spirit. And so he had already given me his business card. I said, look, I'm gonna send you this information. I'll follow up with you. You know, when will be the best time to follow up? We set up a kind of like a pseudo date to follow up and chat more about it. That was that. And that's really the approach you want to take, right? You don't want to wake up with the attitude of, who can I sell my service or product today? The objective is to get in front of as many people as possible, friend as many people as possible, create a situation where you build your network as quickly as possible with individuals who just are aware, right? And if you have this mindset, what'll end up happening if you're taking an interest in the people whom you're engaging and dealing with, more than likely they'll take an interest in you, right? And that's the mindset I encourage people to adopt. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? A strategy that I employ frequently when I'm out and about in the public is I form people. FORM is an acronym, F-O-R-M, family, occupation, recreation, motivation. 9 times out of 10, if someone's willing to share 3 out of 4 with you, they're gonna feel pretty good about their relationship with you. Why? Because most individuals aren't taking the time to learn about people. They're just trying to sell them something. They're trying to shove their business card, shove a product, brochure, talk them into buying something. These conversations don't have naturally. People behave awkwardly today, especially because of social media. There's this attitude that if you turn your social media page into a billboard, that people are gonna like you better. No, they're not. Okay, people are looking for genuine interactions, and you wanna give it to them. So once again, just like the gentleman I mentioned earlier, if you and I cross paths, doesn't matter where we cross paths at, you look at me, I smile, I look at you, you smile, I say hi, hello, how are you doing, what brings you in, how are you doing today? You already know my typical response, another beautiful day in the neighborhood, always gets a chuckle from individuals, they remember Mr. Rogers, right? And then now we're off to having a conversation. What am I gonna ask some questions about? Family, right? I may ask them, what brings you in? What do you do for a living? What are you most excited about? If a person's an entrepreneur, we know their favorite topic is what? Their business, their entrepreneur endeavor. And they're gonna tell you everything about their business endeavor. Along the way, what typically motivates them is their family. So they're building a business, I may ask them motivated, why'd you get started? 9 times out of 10 is for their family. Or whatever the reasons may be. But the bottom line is now I better understand their motivation for doing what it is that they do. At some point, family inevitably comes up into it. I may mention an experience I just had with a child, one of my children recently, or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is just real, natural, cool conversation. And what inevitably happens, as I indicated before, individuals will eventually ask you what it is they do, what it is that you do. Because remember, people conduct business with folks whom they like, know, and trust. It's just a natural conversation. Most people are hot-wired to talk about what they do for a living. It's how most people's identity is formulated, whether they're an entrepreneur or even a professional. So if you ask the right questions, and once again, you're not going in with the mindset that I'm going to sell you something, but with the mindset that I want to befriend you, and I'm going to ask questions to find out whether or not there are problems or things where I can possibly offer solutions, that's going to take you a lot further than trying to figure out some elaborate elevator pitch, trying to figure out some way to sell your product or service within the first 5, 10, 15 minutes. Let me tell you, that just doesn't work, okay? 90% of people, 99% of people out here can't sell anyway. Let me repeat that again. 99% of people cannot sell. They do not have the technical expertise, they don't have the training, they don't have the alligator skin that's required to go out here and quote unquote sell. So don't try to do something that you've not been trained to do. Instead, do what you've been trained to do, which is just be nice, be cordial, be friendly, ask questions, be interested. Try not to be interesting, try to be interested in the people around you. And I guarantee you, number one, you'll make a lot more friends. And of course, we know the real bag is not simply the selling of a product or service, but is when individuals like you so much they're willing to refer you to others. And once again, people like, know, and trust you. Not only will they do business with you, but they'll also refer individuals to you. Just understand this, and I'll leave you with this. When you're chatting with someone, when you're conversing with them, whether you are just making a new friend or whether you are giving a sales presentation, remember this, people are asking themselves 3 questions about you. And they're asking themselves 3 questions about their experience with you. Whether you realize it or not, sometimes they're not even cognizant of it. But understand, they're asking themselves 3 questions. Number 1, do I like this person? Do I feel good about the experience? Is this comfortable? Do I feel like this person's a nice person? Right? Is this person trustworthy? They're asking themselves about you from the first 0.5 seconds in which they engage you and make eye contact with you. Be aware of that. You know the other question they're asking themselves? If I were to introduce this person to my family, to my friend, to my neighbor, would I be comfortable with that? Right? So that once again, they're assessing your posture, they're assessing your approach, they're assessing whether or not you are interested in them or whether or not you're some weirdo, okay? Just being real with you. So they're asking themselves, are they comfortable with their experience with you? They're asking themselves, quite frankly, would I be comfortable inviting this person to talk to a family, friend, or referring them? And then the last question they're asking themselves, if they're entrepreneurial, and we know 1 out of 10 people are entrepreneurial, particularly given the environment that we're in now with underemployment and individuals being compensated nothing close to commensurate with the amount of effort they put in on a day-to-day basis. People are looking to start up businesses, they're looking for side hustles, or they're looking to transition out of corporate America altogether. So one of the questions individuals are asking themselves when they're chatting with you as an entrepreneur is, can I do what this person did? And if you have some elaborate sales approach, you have some elaborate sales pitch, you have some elaborate, I don't know, whatever you've concocted in your living room or some book you've read or YouTube video you've looked at, if you have some elaborate approach, the person sitting across the table from you or sitting next to you at the coffee shop or via Zoom or over the phone, they're asking themselves, can I do this? And the answer is going to be no. I can't do what you just did. I can't rattle off a 30-minute script about a product or service. I can't do that. I'm not there yet, right? So just be aware of these things as you're out in the marketplace. So, in closing, once again, stop with the sales mentality. You're probably not good at it anyway. I'm just being real. Don't wake up in the morning with the attitude is, who can I sell today? Who can I introduce my product or service today? No, ask yourself, who can I befriend? How many friends can I make today? How many acquaintances can I make today under favorable circumstances? How many people can I develop a warm, fuzzy relationship with? And one of the approaches you may want to use is form, once again, family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Form people, ask them, be genuinely interested in their lives, what motivates them, what they do for recreation. Ask individuals about their occupation. Once again, everyone's favorite topic in the world, particularly if they're a business owner, is their business. Ask them why they got started in their business, what's motivating them today, what are they taking aim at, where they want to be 2-3 years from now, right? Where do they want to be 2-3 years from now? You ask a business owner or entrepreneur, where do you expect to be? What are you taking aim at 2-3 years from now? Number one, they're going to tell you whether or not they have a plan. Number two, they're going to tell you whether or not, or an agenda. Number two, they're probably going to tell you some of the challenges they're having. Inevitably, they're going to start talking about, well, I need this, or I need that, or I'm having this issue, or I'm having this challenge. And look, you should be smiling. You should be smiling because they're giving you all the information you need to find out whether or not you can be of service to them. It also means they trust you, right? So you want to ask them that question. You want to find out once again, what their motivation is. And eventually, they'll start talking a little bit about their family. You want to be quiet. You do not want to throw up on them about your product or service, okay? You want to let them talk. And eventually, 99.9% of the time, they're going to turn and they're going to look at you and they're going to ask you what it is that you do. And you want to resist the urge to go into some 20, 30-minute ordeal. For me, it's very simple. Keep it simple. I'm a problem solver. I help business owners go from a team of me to a team of we. There's like the gentleman earlier today when I said that, he said, oh, that's interesting, tell me more. I said, well, look, all entrepreneurs need the exact same thing. Same thing as McDonald's, Kroger, Whole Foods, you. We all need the same thing. We need IT, marketing, legal, HR assistants. Most small business owners and entrepreneurs don't have the big business budget to pay for those things. That's what we do. We help individuals. He said, tell me more. I said, look, I'll do you one better. I'm going to get some information to you, whether it be a website, audio, email, whatever the case may be. I'm going to get some information to you where you can take a look at it with your own eyeballs, make an educated decision as to whether or not it's something you want to learn, right? It takes a little bit of swagger and confidence to do that. Most people are going to be scared that they're going to lose the opportunity. You're going to try to sell them. And you're going to, I was going to say F up. I'm not even going to say, you're going to F up. Okay, you're going to go from that nice person to the person who was feeling warm and fuzzy about to now they're going to feel like you're a salesperson. That's not what you want, right? People like to make buying decisions. They don't want to be sold. So you want to share something with that person, especially if you've just met them, you don't have a relationship with them. Give them an opportunity to go to a website, listen to something, view something where they can make an educated decision. 99% of the time, they feel good about you. They're going to feel good about what you're sharing, particularly if your service or product is viable and actually helps people. Have some confidence in what it is that you're doing, right? If your product or service actually helps people, be confident in that. And just give them an opportunity to learn about it. Set up an opportunity to follow up with them. Make a date, right? Think about it, think about it like dating. You're dating this person. You just met them, you want to set a date with them, right? It's like if you met a girl or a gal at a coffee shop or at the bar or at a restaurant, you'd set a date to follow up, right? Set a date with them. Hey, if I forward this information to you, if I give you my business card, if I share this website with you, when do you think you'll get around to taking a look at it, right? They may say, I'll look at it tomorrow. They may say, I'll look at it next week. Whatever they say, you say, fine, that's great. I'll follow up with you then. Now here's the thing, some of you are scared to get people's contact information. Well, that's how you get it, without asking for it. If they say you can follow up with me and they give you a specific time to follow up with them, you're gonna need a phone number. You're gonna need an email. And my habit is very simple. I literally just give people my phone. Right now, the business owner I referenced earlier while I was here at the coffee shop where I had that exact exchange, he had business cards on him. I didn't even have to ask him for it, he just gave it to me. But let's say a person doesn't have a business card. Let's say this isn't their regular modus operandi. Once again, offer when to follow up with them. Obviously, the only way you can follow up with them, once again, is to get their contact information, right? So they're gonna give you a phone number or email address. Now, my experience has been 9 times out of 10, if I take my phone and I give it to someone, they put their full name in there, they put their phone number in there, they ask me to text them so they'll recognize me when I call. I love it when they do that. And then in my text message, I'll ask them for their email and they'll give that to me as well. So I'm gonna follow up with them a day, 2 days, a week, whenever they say to follow with them, I'm gonna do that, right? And now you have a good relationship with someone. They like you, they feel like they know and trust you. They're at least willing to learn what it is that you do. If your product or service is viable, and certainly our product and service is viable, they're going to be either willing to become a client of yours, more willing to, or as far as I'm concerned, more important than that, they're going to be willing to refer you. That gentleman that I spoke with earlier today, he's one person, but he may know 300. What's more valuable to me? That one interaction with that one person, or being referred to 300 other individuals that he may know that I don't know yet, right? Remember, that's the bag. The bag is to build a network. The bag is to have 1,000 to 3,000 individuals out there who like you, know you, and trust you, feel good about you, know that you're out here solving people's problems and providing solutions. The bag is to have 1,000 to 3,000 individuals out here who feel good enough about you to invite you to speak with their family, friends, and neighbors and be an advocate of yours. That's the bag, not the sale. The sale is one transaction. A transaction does not build a business. Relationships build your business. Systems, processes build your business, okay? Having a brand builds your business. That's the difference between waking up every single morning chasing transactions and not knowing what's going to happen from day to day, week to week, month to month, to being able to project out 3, 6, 7, 8, 10 months, 2, 3 years out, right? So, wanted to give you a little bit of game this morning. As always, I celebrate success in advance. Goodbye for now.